Many thanks to Westwood and Goldfinger. It's Fabio for the next 2 hours with a little bit of drum and bass.
Fabio, 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 Fabio.
Fabio, Grooverider, big drum and bass, big beats, big bass line, big everything. Listen, once he moves in, you have to move out. Whoa.
Wow, wow, wow. What a way to start the show. Majik, who has been smashing it in the last year or so. One of my favourite Majik joints. A track entitled Spaced Invaders. That is the 2007 mix, came out a couple of years ago. And it's one of those tracks that it came and went, man. But that mix is sick. Love, love, love that track. Right, tonight on the show, we've got a big, big show, as per usual. We've got the delicious Delisha and the Kilowatt in the house. Say hello, peoples.
Woohoo!
Yo. Yeah, they're on an understated vibe tonight.
How embarrassing.
We have got Logistics coming in talking about his album Crash Bang Wallop. Yes, that is the name of the album, Crash Bang Wallop. He's going to come in with a 20-minute mix. We've also got the wonderful random selection. We've got the rewind track. We've got some of your Facebook shouts. We've got someone trying to explain the joys of Twitter to me. It's all going on. As I said before, starting off the show with a power play. Send that one out to my boy, the Grooverider. Another wonderful show last week, sir. One of those tunes, man. One of those tunes. Right, we're going to keep the show moving on. Because the one thing I didn't mention, we have got a bag of tunes for you. From Majik, let's go over to a little bit of True Playaz.
Fabio, 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 Fabio.
Also, we're going to be featuring tracks from Subfocus. Original Sin, a killer from him a little bit later on. Some exclusive. Well, it's not exclusive. I'm just the only one who's got it. Track entitled Bionics by Chaser Status. Track that I love, man. But time to jump up. Going out to all the One Nation crew. Big up to all the Innovation Massive. Big up to Skibber, to Harry Shotter, to X-Man, to IC3, Fat Man D. All the crew, this is yours. It's Fabio, it's Radio 1. Yes, big things. Some jump up styling. Big up to all the Valve Massive as well. Big shout out to Dillinger and Lemon D. I had a good bank holiday actually. I didn't go carnival because I don't do carnival because I was traumatised there about 12 years ago. It's just like my swimming exploits. After nearly drowned, I don't ever go back in. But I had a really chill time. I done Peterborough, big up to all the Massive down there. Also done Fabric. Fabric was a stormer. Done True Playaz, Room 2, alongside Marcus Intellect and D-Bridge. And I tell you what, man, that was a big night. Love this track. I've been playing this track for like about a month now, and I'm feeling this, man. I'm really pushing this track right now. By a guy called Flaco. Like the original Liquid vibe, really reminiscent of 2000, maybe to 2003, that really simple, easygoing, free-flowing style. I know Groove's feeling this as well. Also big up to my boy Aaron J, also Chris Interface and Tendai. As I said to you before, we have got Logistics coming up real soon. He's going to be in the mix as well, and in the mix he's going to be playing his favourite Logistics tracks, which is a nice angle to come from. Also, he's going to stick around, hopefully, for the random selection, where we choose a track randomly. You know, what it says on the tin, that's what we do. And the rewind track, of course, me and Grooverider go head to head. That's all coming up, and no charts.
The home of UK drum bass is Fabio on Radio 101.
bbc.co.uk/Radio 1.
Fabio on Radio 1.
Yeah. That tune is smashing up the place. Loving that. Send that one out to my Swerve Massive. Yes. Remember, we've got Logistics coming in with a kind of greatest hits mix. Some of his favourite tracks that he has made. He's going to be rolling them out in a little while. He's going to be coming up real soon. And summer's come and gone. And what did you think of this year's summer? I thought it was fair to middling.
Average. What happened to the heat wave that was promised?
The heat wave that was promised, I didn't think it was that bad though. We've had worse ones.
They promise a heat wave every year.
Every single year.
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it. Well, yeah, about 3 years ago, it was really hot.
Back in the 80s, wasn't it?
No, I'm talking about the 80s. Well, listen, I have very fond memories of the 80s, okay?
I wasn't born, but anyway.
So you was born in the 90s, were you? Really, yeah? No, actually you was born about 5 years ago, so you don't know about anything like pre-2000, yeah? Because I'll tell you what it is, it's very unpredictable. There's days you go out and you think, it's really nice today, then it starts raining. And there's other days you go out and it's raining and then the sun comes out.
We just need a bit of consistency here, don't we?
A little bit of inconsistency. But what we're going to be doing from next week, it's either I'm going to do a liquid mix or an anti-winter mix. So I want you to post on our wall, on Facebook, what you want me to do. Do you want me to do a dark mix in tune with the autumnal season, or do you want me to brighten it up a little bit and then play a kind of like 2000 to 2003 liquid mix? And we'll see what's up and we'll do whatever you want us to do. Right, new one from AI. We are still awaiting their album after many, many years. The album is supposed to be on its way before the end of the year on Liquid V, I think. Big tune at the moment. It's Fabio, it's Radio 1. This is the way we flex. This is what we do on a Saturday night, Sunday morning.
Future classics, anthems, bangers. Hit them here first on Radio 1's Drum and Bass Show.
sound of AI, artificial intelligence. We're just speeding this up a little bit because we've got so much content on the show tonight. And Delisha.
Yes.
Now, a little while ago, we was, of course, making this whole thing with DJ Die, and, you know, the whole kind of...
You said you were going to hook me up.
We was going to hook you up, and it didn't quite happen. I don't know why. It just didn't happen. And, so what's the deal now? What's your man situation now, then?
Single.
Oh, you're single.
I'm stuttering.
Are you
no,
single?
I'm single. I'm a
well,
single
no wonder
lady.
you're single if you're single.
Single.
You're single?
No, but listen, my friend Jess said to me that I need to try online dating. What do you think?
What?
Online dating. It's supposed to be the new thing.
You're joking?
No.
You got to remember, right? Women are always looking for love. You know, that's the reason why women do what they do sometimes, you know. They're looking for love. Men ain't looking for love. You got to be real about this because, you know, you're going to meet someone who's got, you know, who's got to be feeling the way you are. And, you know, you got to be real about things, man. Okay. So I personally think you just got to be careful.
Listen, I'm going to do it and I'll give you an update in 2 weeks' time.
Give me an update and please also, on our Facebook wall, if you think it's a good idea... or if you want to send your picture in, do you know what I mean? We can start a whole dating thing, like a blind date for 2009. And send your picture in or post on the wall what you think Delisha should do.
Hey, yo, I'm got material out there, you know, B.
I'm loving his pearls of wisdom, by the way.
I'm telling you,
we
man.
We should get you on the Sunday surgery.
Listen, I told you from a long time, right? This is no word of a lie, right? I've got about 30 girls on Facebook that call me Agony Uncle.
How embarrassing.
Yeah. Can't help but sound like you kind of want my body.
Fabio, 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 Fabio. On Radio 1.
Right, we have got logistics coming up real soon. We are going to roll out a couple of tracks in the mix. Then you've got the man himself talking about his album, Crash Bang Wallop.
Jungle music.
In the four corners of the globe with a weekly dose of bass and beats, 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 beats.
a track. What a couple of tracks. Before this, we had Logistics, Jungle Music. Big tune. Former number 1 on our charts. On Hospital Records, love that tune. And in the background, you can hear an equally wonderful tune. Sending that one out to the Grooverider. I know you love that, man. A great track, so subtle, proper Calibre business. A track entitled Model Way. Send that one out to Karim. We have the man himself in the studio. We have Logistics. What's up, man?
I'm good, mate.
Good to see ya.
Yeah, likewise, man. Been a while.
Been a while, man. So the album is called Crash Bang Wallop. Let's start off with that, man. Well, where did the name come from on that, man? That's a crazy name.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one. Well, it's kind of a number of things. I mean, I was struggling for album titles. My little brother was saying, you should just call it Crash Bang Wallop, what an album, which is it's like a little Alan Partridge quote from, well, he did a video called Crash Bang Wallop, what a video.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And after kind of thinking about it for a little while, I just kind of like the name, it kind of implies like the pots and pans thing that everyone always goes on about, jungle and drum bass.
Yeah, so, for real.
Sort of a bit tongue-in-cheek, but...
wicked. Yeah, because I have had people say to me that aren't into drum and bass that it does sound like someone hitting a tin can.
Yeah, or falling down the stairs with a drum kit, and all that.
Or someone said to me it sounds like a Datsun falling down a hill backwards.
I don't know what tune that was.
So on the album now, I've noticed recently, in jungle music, Murderation, Warehouse, you've kind of gone back to a old school kind of jungle vibe, man, and it's really working. And also the Danny Breaks thing you did as well, man.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I just kind of like that vibe, man. I can't seem to get away from it, even though I've been listening to that sort of drum bass for probably 10 plus years now, I think. It's just a vibe that I feel is maybe missing a little bit in drum bass at the moment, with it all being so kind of overproduced. I respect that sound and I like a lot of that sound, but I still love raw jungle tunes, man.
I think, there was a lot of there's a lot of old school parties like Roast and a few others that are doing this kind of old school thing. And a reason why I spoke to someone and they said, the music was so simple and it had this warmth about it. That obviously comes with the bass line, and I've noticed that, jungle music, even though it's a big tune, it's very warm, that kind of, the bass, and it's very minimal as well. So, there's not too much sound in there to put you off. What was the making of jungle music? Because I know it's quite very interesting how you kind of came to make that tune.
Yeah, it's just, I was telling you earlier, it's a little thing I did actually on my laptop, and it's just a really, really simple vibe. But it's just kind of, it's about the energy, really, that tune, and like you say, keeping it simple, like really sparse samples in there that, drop in every once in a while, and it's kind of not in your face, but it's a sort of tune that you play on a system, and it kind of
sounds amazing.
It serves its purpose.
It's one of those
just a little roller.
It comes to life on a system. You hear it like, I've played it on the radio, and even my producer said to me, he heard me play it out, and it sounds completely different. And Warehouse is very similar as well, man. I absolutely love Warehouse, and that's got more of the euphoric kind of jungle feel, a bit like Spiritual Aura. There's tunes like Fresh's Fantasia, which is another wonderful tune, which is harking back to that euphoric sound, which has totally gone really from drum and bass, really, hasn't it? That euphoric vocals with a big drop.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, this is your third album, which is a real... It's a real place for an artist to be, the third album. I know people say the difficult second album. I think the third album's even more difficult, because in a bizarre way you have to reinvent yourself. And is that what Logistics has done on this album, or you just thought, I'm just going to go in and just do an album?
Yeah, the way I make music's quite natural. I just make what I feel. I try not to think about it too much. I just bash out what I'm feeling, and kind of draw my influences. And this album, I didn't really set out with a kind of plan.
Agenda.
Yeah, I didn't have a set plan for it, or kind of idea of how I wanted it to sound. I just sort of went in and got inspired, made tunes, and picked the ones that I was sort of feeling the most, really.
The biggest guests, the biggest tracks on the world's biggest drum and bass show.
And now we have Logistics, and he's doing a kind of greatest hits thing, man. The tunes that meant the most to him while making them. And that's a cool idea to do, man. And he's going to mix them for the next 20-25 minutes. That's going to be really interesting. And of course, we've got him coming up doing the random selection. We've got the rewind track. We've got lots of things cracking off. It's Fabio. It's Radio 1.
Future classics, anthems, bangers. Hear them here first on Radio 1's Drum and Bass Show.
Fabio, Grooverider, big drum and bass, big beats, big bass line, big everything. Listen, once he moves in, you got to move out. Whoa. on the biggest tracks, on the world's biggest drum and bass show. treble. Up with the bass. Fabio and Grooverider on Radio 1. It's Radio 1, sir. Fabio, Grooverider, big drum and bass, big beats, big bass line, big everything. Listen, once he moves in, you're gonna have to move out. What?
was Logistics in the mix. If you want to find out details of the tracks he played, go to bbc.co.uk/Fabio and you can see details of the track listings. Wicked mix, man. Really put a lot of thought into that.
Nice one. Cheers, man.
And you got one of my favourite drum and bass tunes of all time in there, Together.
Yeah, big up, man.
Did I tell you, I've got to dedicate this tune to Bianca. It's a girl, and she's lovely girl, Bianca, and she comes down, and every time I'm playing, she doesn't want to hear no other tune, right? And it's really funny because she stands there making these faces at me, and I think she just wants to hear Together. And I put it on, and she pushes everyone out the way, and she goes, she does it every time, and she listened to my show a couple of weeks ago, and she'd been off the drum and bass scene for a little while, and she hit me up on Facebook, and she was like, "Where's Please Play Together for me?" And I didn't play it because I didn't see the message, and she hasn't spoken to me since. It's that tune, and I've just got to say, that tune, man, I have that tune in my box week in, week out. That tune is a real personal favourite of mine, man. Got to be in my top 10 in the last 6, 7, 8 years, maybe.
Thanks a lot, man. That means a lot, man.
And it's amazing that you said that you didn't even really like the tune, man.
Yeah, I just never really rated it, you know. I just didn't see anything kind of different with that one.
You didn't see it coming,
it's always
man.
the way, though, you know.
That's always the way, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The real special ones are the ones that you don't think that anyone's going to like, man.
Yeah.
But so anyway, listen, what you got coming up next? What's after the album? A little kind of
holiday?
Some quiet moments for you then, yeah?
Yeah, well, I'm going to have a little bit of time off from the kind of music making thing. Well, certainly from drum bass, but obviously going to be touring the album for the next kind of 6 months or so.
Wow, that's deep, man.
And yeah, I've got a remix coming out of Zed Bias, Neighbourhood.
Okay, wicked.
I think that's going to be dropping October time.
No doubt. Well, you need to link me up with that, man.
Yeah, I'll sort you out, man, definitely.
Yeah, and the album's getting released on what day?
28th of September.
Wicked, man. I'll see you around on the road, no doubt. And you are going to hang around for our random selection.
Yep, yeah, I'll try and be honest with it. Yeah.
No, man, just be raw.
Well, just
do the Grooverider thing, man. So that's going to be in about 2 tracks' time. We're going to do me and Logistics. We're going to do the random selection. On with the tunes. Brand new from a guy called Flaco. He done a tune called Set You Off, which is one of my favourite tunes at the moment. Quite garagey, old house kind of flavour to this. Loving this. Big up to all the Swerve crew. Also big up to the Spoon-Fed Massive. All the Cambridge Massive. Big up to Pete from Warning. Also big up to the Roast crew. I know it really went off the other night. The return of Roast at Hidden. Heard it was one of the big nights of the year. So big up to Everton or everyone involved in that night. It's Fabio, it's Radio 1. This is how we do.
best drum and bass, the biggest sounds, the most hurting you, make you jump a hurdle sound selection.
big albums coming out real soon. We've got the Sub Focus album. We have got the Logistics album. Also nearly finished Anix Perez. That is a track from the album, a track entitled Contradictions. Very Calibre in its flavour. Loving that. And before this, you had a name to watch for, a guy called Flaco, straight out of Florida. And a track entitled The Aftermath. Right, we come to that part of the show. I'm loving this part of the show, man. You know, we've got the rewind track and we've got this part of the show, the random selection. If you've never heard it before, this is what we do. We get loads and loads of tracks every single week. So we've decided, you know what, let's pick out some of these tracks randomly, play them, and we judge them. Last week, we had a winner with Grooverider. Grooverider and Zane Lowe were in here and played a track and got the thumbs up from both of them. So, you know, it's not a diss thing here. You know, if we don't like the track, though, we will buzzer it and it doesn't last long and we will actually, diss you quite badly. So today we are joined by Logistics, who's hung around for the random selection. And have you got his buzzer ready, Mr. James? Mr.
I have indeed, yeah.
So you're ready for this?
Do you want to hear your one?
I'm ready, let's go.
Family Fortunes for you. Fabs, you can have this. And,
that sounds like me.
I'll try to choose mine one in due course.
Okay, all right.
I can give you a little bit of info on this guy.
What's the info on this one, man?
Let's say, hello, I made this tune a little while back. None of my mates are really feeling it.
Oh, that's a good start. That's promising. So, Fabio might like it. All right.
So some feedback would be nice.
That's brilliant. That's a brilliant line.
Some constructive criticism would be good.
That's like going for a job and saying, you know what, everyone hates me, but I want you to employ me. Right, anyway, go on.
But he says, a buzzer or three would more or less confirm my retirement. Cheers.
Great, so we're going to push him right over the edge now.
I think so.
All right, let's go. Let's have a listen to this thing. Yeah. I need the buzzer. Yeah. Right.
So.
Right. What do you... Retirement it is then, mate. My personal view on that, you're right, James, the bass sounded a bit like jungle music, but it was all out of key. It sounded quite out of key to me. It didn't go with the vocals at all. He'd have to change... You know what? I don't think you can do a lot. I think the sample's quite weak. The break doesn't sound right. It sounds a little bit too slow.
A bit clangy.
Yeah, a little bit clangy. But not the worst tune I've ever heard. There's elements in it, like the snare.
You can sort of sound that if he kept going, well, you can hear that if he kept going for a couple of years, he'd get it, you know?
Yeah.
He's not...
It's not the
It's not
exactly.
miles away, but it's definitely not right.
What do you think was wrong with it? Like from a technical point of view.
Tuning issues on the samples, everything sounds like it's in 4 different keys to me.
No, but that is constructive. See, I don't understand
I'm
things
being
like
honest.
that.
I'm being honest.
Yeah.
The beats a bit generic and sluggish, maybe. But
and the bass line didn't quite fit, did it?
The bass line just sounds, I don't know. By that point, everything sounded a bit.
Yeah, it just kind of went to pieces.
Yeah.
And James, what did you think? You liked it, didn't you?
No, no, I wanted it. I'd echo your sentiments, really. You know, it was just that break that it was just, I don't know, one word running, was it?
But you know, as Logistics just said, you know, I think, you know, he should take what he said, because everything that he said was wrong with the track. But then again, at the same time, it's not the worst thing I've ever heard. But it's going. Please, can you turn it off now? Yeah, that was starting to do my head in. But the break was a bit sluggish, the bass wasn't right, and the samples needed tuning. So you take that back. You keep on doing the stuff. It weren't as bad as some of the stuff I actually get sent, that actually get released. So, you know, it weren't the worst tune I've ever heard, but it does need a lot of work to it, man. But anyway, listen, many thanks to Logistics for coming in. Best of luck with everything, man.
Thank you.
Best of luck with the album. Remember the name, Crash Bang Wallop, and that is going to be released on the 28th of September. Into my deep rollers tonight. Check this out. Loving this track. Reminds me of old Strictly Rhythm, New Groove. Got a really lazy kind of feel to it. Love the Rhodes in this. Track entitled Take It Back is Fabio. We out of here soon. Big up to my boy Kilowatt. Big up to the lovely, delicious Delisha. It's Fabio.
Classics, anthems, bangers. Hear them here first on Radio 1's Drum and Bass Show.
in this nightmare. If I wake up from this moment, then I'll have to take you back.
Fabio, whoa, that tune is crazy. Stop that and bring it back.
As if I'm trapped here in this nightmare. If I wake up from this moment, then I'll have to take you back. Trapped here in this nightmare. If I wake up from this moment, then I'll have to take you back.
Once more, many thanks to Logistics. Top man. And remember the album one more time, Crash Bang Wallop. The track you can hear in the background, Original Sin. Another big artist who has an album on its way. Yes, indeed, big up to the mighty Hype for sorting me out with a few tracks from the album. Wicked stuff. The album's coming soon, and I've got to tell you, it is fire. That album is fire, man. Rolling out. That's how we do. Radio 1. So what's up, James? I ain't seen you for a little while, son.
Yeah, you do, man.
You've been doing some other things.
Yeah, I've been bouncing around doing early breakfast, just...
So what time did you have to get up?
Up at 2.
Do you know what? One time I came in from a gig and I'd fallen asleep online, and then you left some message going, yo, at about 4:30 in the morning. I woke up, I was like, damn, he's getting up to produce, man. But, that must have been a great experience for you at the same time, man.
Oh, it was great, yeah, handing over to Miles and all that, it's a privilege,
Absolutely, man. Yeah. And you went to the Reading Festival last weekend as well?
Yeah, that was great.
Was that a big night, was it?
You know who killed it?
Who?
Have you heard of a group called Enter Shikari?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, they sort of like rock, but with a drum and bass twist, you know.
They smashed it.
Oh, because some of their tunes just drop into D&B tempo, and it's like 80,000 people going off like a jungle night, you know. So yeah, big up to them.
I tell you what, man, that's what I'm saying about D&B. It's the tempo, you know.
Yeah.
That's why whenever you go to like, you know, big gigs and you start playing drum and bass, it's the speed initially that catches everyone. They're like, yeah.
Totally, and yeah, they're big fans of the show as well. You know, they're big drum and bass heads. So
wicked, yeah.
Big up
All
to
right,
them.
so big up. What's the names again?
Enter Shikari.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Right. On with the flavours. This is a track by a guy we have to get in here soon. SPY. Been talking about this guy all year. Been around a little while, but this year everything's come to fruition with him. This is a track called Favela. It is nastiness, man. Tune that is taking the dance floor. Big up to everyone who attended True Playaz at Fabric last week, Friday. In Room Tune with Marcus and D-Bridge. It was big. Check this out. Nastiness.
09 is drum and bass time.
us up at bbc.co.uk/Radio 1.
The sound of Sub Focus from the album that a lot of people have been waiting for, a track entitled Deep Space. Before this, you had a track by Chase and Status called Bionics, a track that they kind of forgot they gave to me. They gave me this track, didn't ever give it to anyone else. I think they kind of forgot about it totally, played it out, and they were like, oh yeah, just remember that this tune is bad. But I'm really, really liking that. Bionics by Chase and Status before that. And before that, I can't even remember, but will be on the track listings. It was Favela by Spy. Thank you very much, Kilowatt. Right, if you're a fan of the show, then I hope and assume you've become a member of our Facebook group. And if you haven't, why not? Just go to the page at bbc.co.uk/Radio 1 and click on the links to Facebook and become a member. Let's try and hit 15,000 fans. That is... We really should be licking 20,000 by now. Not really happy with the 13,000 that we've got, but we're pushing towards 15,000 and I'm a very ambitious man.
It's not bad figures.
It's not bad. It's not great.
Better than most shows.
Yeah, true. That's true.
Mr. Jam's only got 2,000.
Really? See? That's not too bad then.
We're working on it.
How much has Moore's got?
Ridiculous amount.
Yeah, like 700,000.
Something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Squillions.
All right. Anyway, time for your shout-outs. This one's coming from Laura Banks, and she said, Fabio, don't get rid of your Twitter. The drum and bass is really grown on Twitter. The whole point of Twitter is to share information and links with people who are following you. The way to get more people following you is to start following. Listen, Laura, I told Delisha last week, right? I don't follow people, babe. That's not what I do, right? So I'm not following anybody on Twitter, and I've got another name for Twitter that kind of rhymes with Twitter, but I won't even say nothing.
Bitter. That's you. Bitter.
Boom, boom. Where's the drums? Where's the drums?
Oh, I don't know.
All right. Azif says, yo, Fabio, love the show. Listen every week on the iPlayer from all the way in Coral Springs, Florida. Looking forward to seeing you guys live in Miami soon. Until then, keep up the wicked D&B. Manolia de Mendonca says, I love the last random selection. Finally, one good track. Love you guys. Listen to your show every week from Switzerland. And last but not least, Tiago Lemos says, hey guys, a few weeks ago you played a remix of Tupac's Do For Love in the show. Are we ever going to listen to it again? And is it a bootleg? Yes, it is a bootleg indeed. And I will play it again on the next show. I haven't got it with me tonight. But if you want to hit us up, bbc.co.uk/Radio 1. Hit us up and rewind the shows as many times as you like on BBC iPlayer. That is the shout. So, time for rewind selection, methinks. Yeah? Let's do this.
Liquid means rewind, a gunshot means forward. You requested it, so we rewind.
You're listening to the Grooverider on the BBC Radio 1, 97 to 99 FM.
I'm a hardback carrier, alright? That is Grooverider's rewind selection. Camo and Crooked. They've been doing some big tunes. I noticed Grooverider was quiet on that one tonight, right? So I've got a little something for you, sir, by a guy called Rolls. I know you know this cat, and he's been making some tunes. He's got this little thing called Subsonic, and this is a track I'm going to be hitting you with, dog. Loving this track. The rewind selection for this week, remember, write on our wall who you think the winner was. And remember, me and Grooverider are mates. So, you know, don't be too disparaging. You know, just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Some people are like, yeah, you kicked Fabio's ass. It's like, yeah, no, it's not that kind of party, lads. You know what I mean? It's not really like that. Just say yay or nay. Check this out. Roll. Subsonic. It's Fabio. It's Radio 1.
Come selector.
And bring it back.
Is the rewind track for this week. I'm sending that one out to Jonathan DiFrancesco, who is probably going to have a seizure when I mention his name. He's from Dominican Republic. He says he's the only person in the Dominican Republic that listens to drum and bass and he feels like an alien. And he said enough respect to me, so big up to you, Jonathan. We have got Mr. Jam coming up, and he has DJ Spyro in the mix. That's Tinchy Strider's tour DJ. Then at 5 o'clock, we have Raskwami Back to School special, focusing on artists under the age of 19. His show is ripping, man. And if you missed any of the show, listen again on BBC iPlayer, bbc.co.uk/Radio 1. That is how we do. Right, a couple more tracks and then we out. So what's up, Delisha? You're really quiet today. What's up, babes?
Am I?
You're really
Nothing.
quiet. The witty banter ain't there today. The comebacks that I'm always kind of preparing myself for. It's not happening today. What's up?
I'm not sure.
Did the carnival depress you so much? Yeah.
No, I'm all right. I'm having fun. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to start a new Twitter, not just for you, but a Twitter for the drum and bass show. Therefore, we just kick you out of it.
Well,
Sorry.
And all four of us can update it then.
Oh, right. So it's like a communal Twitter.
For the show.
Right. And the point is?
The point is you will not be allowed on it. That's the point.
Yeah, but I don't get it, babe. Listen, James.
Yeah.
Delisha really tried to make a real impressive go of explaining to it to me. I don't understand. Can you try and explain it to me? For the last time on radio before I bore people to tears.
Come on, James.
You do need to start following people. Like, say, Shy FX, Goldie, Hype. You'd start following those, see what those are up to. And
They'll stop following you.
Are you interested? I guess you're interested in what they're up to day to day, aren't you?
Not really, no. I don't care.
James, give him the kind of twit guide to Twitter.
Okay, yeah, the twit guide to Twitter.
It's not taking off for you, is it really?
Not really. But I don't know. I said that about Facebook and MySpace. So I just need that little something. You know what I'm saying?
We'll just start up a whole group one for the show, and then we take it from there.
We take it from there.
Step by step.
Okay.
Okay, twit.
Right, you don't even want the comeback on that one, do you? You know, you don't even want the comeback on that.
I'm kidding.
The sound of Will Miles and a track entitled Bet on Black. The sound of Will Miles, a track entitled Bet on Black. And we have come to the end of the show. Do you remember Grooverider? He's here next week in the hot seat. Also coming up at 3 a.m, Mr. Jam. He has DJ Spyro in the mix. Also Ras Kwame, his back to school special, highlighting the brightest talents under the age of 19. Wicked stuff. Big up to Mr. Jam and to Ras Kwame. And remember, Keep It Radio on the whole of Sunday. You got the chart show. You got some big shows cracking off. I'm gonna love and leave you a little bootleg special. Track originally done by Pharrell. Can't give you any more information on this, but I like it. A version of Pharrell's Angel. Drum and bass study. Many thanks to Logistics who swung by earlier on. I'm going to be back in a couple of weeks, of course. Grooverider, the mighty Grooveriders, here with all the regular features like the rewind selection, the random selection and the rewind track. I'll be here 2 weeks' time. I'm going to stop repeating myself and get off. I'll speak to you soon.
I see in you, girl. She got her ass like loaf of bread. You want a slice?
Check the track list and check the videos at bbc.co.uk/Radio 1.
Somebody make some noise for Fabio. Fabio on Radio 1.